I look any different than you? My soul and spirit came alive. Gonna die one day though. I bet you go through both of those. Yeah, I bet you got a couple people you can't trust. I bet you do a lot of good, but surviving's a must. Find it in you like a mean, you gotta stay hungry. Play your cards, poker, rook, rummy. Yeah, you don't know pain till you see it in another's eyes. When you say goodbye for the very last time, and your chest gets tight while we gotta fight for peace. Some man right now. What's it gonna take? Open your eyes and see. Never ever give up, Jimmy V. Take a stand, take a knee. Whatever you believe, BUNLOVE. We are one day away. We are one day away. We are one day away. We are one day away from being free. From being free. From being free. From being free. Do I look any different than you? Do I bleed any different than you? Do I feel any different than you? Do I look any different than you? We are one day away. We are one day away.
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back on this beautiful Sunday evening. I don't know about y'all, but is it officially fall? Because it's cold outside to me, okay?
Tomorrow will be fall, I think. Is that right? Tomorrow, right?
This morning it felt like winter, okay? But on a serious note, welcome back to the Collective Unfiltered. This is episode 27 with myself, Alexis Hornbuckle, and Jay Boog. Boog, say what up to the people.
What's up, y'all? Happy to be back. Sorry I missed y'all last Monday, but I'm back in the building. We have a very, very special guest, another former Lady Vol. You know we love our Lady Vols. We're all family around here. What's up, Camisha? How you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I told Bobby, like, we got a legend in the building. We're making this happen today. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that. Legend is a big name, a big word now, but
hey, listen, once we get into the story and we get to talking and they see all that you've done in sports and outside of it, let's let the people determine. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you, Orange Mountain Designs. Thank you, Just Pass It Tutoring. Thank you, Volunteer Roadshow, for allowing us to be able to continue to host this weekly podcast for you during this time, the Collective Unfiltered, where we focus on athletes, business, finance, and equality. All right. Bug, you want to get us started, man?
Absolutely. We have Miss Camisha Bennett Martin joining the show, former Lady Vol track and field, 2000, 2005, correct?
99, 2004, yes.
2004, okay. And five-time NCAA All-American, mother, wife, and now a very big advocate for autism. So very excited to have you on the show. So what's up? Tell us a little bit about you, kind of where it all started.
Well, it started in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, OHIO. And when I was 8 years old, basically they saw a gift and I was just beating everybody in gym class, and that was the only Student of the Month award that I received. And that was from gym class, which is hilarious. I've always been a very big talker in school, but I got things done. So, but yeah, I received that award in front of my parents, and my gym teacher told them that he noticed a gift and he feels like they should really look into it. So my parents were divorced, and my dad had remarried, and my stepmom, she was an athlete, running track in high school, and she kind of knew about track and field and what was going on locally. So I started with my coach, which is a fun fact, LaVonna Martin, it's her dad who ran our track club. And we have ties to, she's from Ohio as well, in Dayton, Ohio. And I ran under LaVonna Martin's dad until I graduated from high school in my summer track team. And track just, I mean, it catapulted me in life in general, set me up to do the things I'm doing today. I didn't really think about it like that as I was running track because, I mean, like I said, I started at 8. So just to give you an idea of how long I ran without saying how old I am, but you guys have already said when I graduated, so somebody can figure that out by now. But I graduated and then I ran professional for 4 years, and I ran from age 8 years old to 27 years old. So almost
miles.
Yeah. And not a lot of injuries, to be honest. The only thing that really took me out for long periods of time was pregnancies. And so I was able to come back twice after having both of my sons and running professionally and in college as well. So when I retired, I was done, you know, and I needed some time to think about, you know, oh, I don't want to talk about track. I don't want to think about track. But like I started with, you know, I realized it helped me get to where I am now. But at first, I didn't really realize that. I just wanted to be done with it, you know.
Right.
So now, you know, I'm a mother. I'm working mother of 2 and a wife, raising 2 teenage boys. And they are a big part of my story and continue to be, especially with track and field, because like I said, I started having my kids while I was running still. So not an easy feat at all. I don't suggest it to anyone. If you want to be done with sports, be done and raise your kids, you know, it's just, it was a lot. It was a lot. I wouldn't say I missed a lot in their lives, but it just was a lot. As you all are both athletes, you know how much it takes mentally, and just to be a parent as well. It was a lot to do at once.
I can only imagine that. One of our guests on YouTube said, "Track star, my ex-girlfriend ran against the Vols when your guest played. Go Dogs." Appreciate the love to the show. Go Vols. But Kameisha, you just mentioned how your 2 boys are a big reason and a big part of what you do today, what you've done for a long time and what you continue to do today. Give us a little insight on what you do, and let them know a little more about your son, one of which is autistic, correct?
Yes. And so our oldest son, he was diagnosed at age 3 with autism. I wouldn't say that it impacts his life as much as ADHD does now. He's come a long way, you know, but it was very traumatizing because I had Darius in college. I was 22, my husband was 24. He was not in college at the time. He had graduated since. So I was just trying to finish school, and getting him in a place where he was developing like he needed to be was very enlightening. But being a young mom and trying to run track, I didn't realize anything was going on at first, that his development was impacted until one of his daycare providers pulled me aside. I had on my short tights, you know, coming straight off the track, rushing in, trying to pick him up. And she's like, "Can I talk to you?" And I'm like, yeah. She's like, "There's some things that we're concerned about. And, you know, I know that you trust what I say, but we would like to get him evaluated for autism, just from some of the things they were noticing, like some like high-pitched noises. He had some sensory, we say sensory tactile delays, or things that he didn't like to touch or was afraid of. And that way, I don't want to get very involved in language when nobody knows what I'm talking about. But like, you know, some food that he didn't like to eat, he would squeeze, you know, he wouldn't eat it, you know, if it had a certain texture, things like that. And then also his speech was impacted big time. he did not really say a full sentence. He was about 4 or 5 with intervention. But at the time, he was only 2 years old. So he was not speaking. There's a lot of high-pitched noises and things like that. So I had to slow down then. I said, I've got to slow down. I went in to my coach. I said, at the time it was JJ Clark. I said, Coach, I've got to slow down and kind of see if I can teach my son. And we sat here for like 2 weeks together. And I'm like, these people don't know what they're talking about. They, let me see if I can teach you. And it was like, I realized that there was something, there were delays there was something there, but I was moving so fast in like going to school, graduating, running track. And that just completely stopped me in my tracks. And I took a little time off, and he ended up being diagnosed. And that was the fall. He ended up being diagnosed officially in the spring. And we have been fighting ever since.
So I can't even imagine. I mean, obviously, like you mentioned earlier, us having, especially at Tennessee, being athletes, we are, our days literally is go, go, go. And especially track and field. You guys are on the track for hours at a time, and I can't just the fatigue and trying to bounce back after pregnancy and do something so physical in terms of running, plus maintain a child. The strength that takes is crazy. And your husband not being there on a day-to-day basis is like, being a single mom and having 2 careers, being a student and an athlete. So, definitely all the respect and credit in the world for
that's
that.
Black woman magic right there.
Man, what?
Yeah. Shout out.
So then after you had your first son and you came back, finished out your Tennessee career, and then went on to run pro, what was your mindset kind of finishing up at Tennessee, completing, college, getting your degree, and then making the decision to go pro?
Just a happy accident. I knew that, the way I was raised, I was not going to quit, There's no quitting. There's no moving back home because I got pregnant. None of that. I was staying here it sounds bad, but in the midst of it, you're embarrassed that you're pregnant walking around, as an athlete, and you have on all your gear, you got a big old stomach. I kind of went in hiding a little bit, then go and Gibbs and eat lunch. I'm like, no, I don't want to, who you pregnant by, all this junk, Who's she pregnant by, all that. So just trying to avoid that, and make it through. I'm like, I'm not quitting. And that was my mindset. I knew that I didn't have a choice, but I did not think that, and that was not in the plan for me to become professional, period. It just wasn't. I ended up getting second at NCAA Division I championships in Houston, Texas. And they offered me the contract afterwards, and I'm like, oh God, run more, okay, but I was done. I just knew that I would finish out what I committed to at UT, and I would not be a professional, but it was a really good experience. And like I said, I'd run for so long. I was ready to retire after college, and on top of having my son in college. But those are experiences as being a professional athlete. I would never say that I wish I wouldn't have done. It just was a good accident, I'll say. It wasn't planned at all.
Absolutely. So how was it? So was your son with you as you were running professionally? Did you kind of have him with you at all times?
So my husband, he played in the NFL at the time. So I would have him here with me in the fall, but after his season was over, he would move here in Knoxville and live here with me in the spring so I could run. So it's kind of like a tag team thing.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good daycare providers that helped us make it happen because we didn't have any family here, period. We were doing that, on our own. The only tricky time was when he would start training camp and I was overseas and I was at the end of my season. And that was the tricky part where we had to send him to Ohio with my family for a little bit.
Okay.
That's amazing because I struggle with time management in college personally. So just to hit, Jay, be quiet.
Unfiltered.
I know, right? But yeah, I was all over the place. On top of the mandatory workouts, preseason, we had to pick up. Well, either we got to gives, but then it got to a point where there was like no time in between class, so they actually gave us to-go bag lunches in gives.
That's nice.
Yeah, we run by, grab them, and walk on down to TBA. And then you have
basketball only. I don't think any other sport got that besides lady ball, basketball, and football.
Shout out Pat Summit. Shout out to Pat Summit. Then you know that. But on top of that, study hall, and then on top of me being me, wanting to go out and be where I'm not supposed to be, like I could not imagine being responsible for another little human while being in college myself. So kudos, like seriously, that is huge. Like that's powerful for anybody to do. But in this day and time, I just, again, shout out to being a strong Black woman and set an example, not only for your kids and your family, but for young women coming up and seeing that they can achieve whatever, no matter what happens, they can still finish it out.
And I won't say that is the ideal thing to, be reckless. And I was, the mom comes out. I've had a son for 17 years now, guys. So I would do this disclaimer. Please don't try it at home. Please don't. Because it was not easy at all. It was not easy. It's a success story. And I've mentored girls, pregnant teens. And I am a little up and down about telling my story because then it makes you a little unnerved about, well, Kameisha did it,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want anybody to feel like, and I'm married, the person I had a son with as well. So it wasn't, it sounds like more in a fairy tale than what actually happens to a lot of people.
Right.
Well, that's called commitment. That's called commitment. That's a lost art.
Absolutely.
Yes. Along with silver. Anyway, there's a lot of lists. I won't get started. I diverse.
We do have a question on Facebook. James Hill asked, do your kids play sports?
Both of them play basketball right now.
Okay. So you think they'll stick with basketball?
They both, okay, so it's weird because we're both athletes, right? So I'm a different type of athlete than my husband. I'm more of an Olympic athlete. I'm not what he says, I'm not an athlete.
What?
So was he more like power? I don't know, power.
Power, strength. I have strength too, but we are just two different types of athletes. So my kids both have those. Yes, we have some people coming in.
Oh, it's Unfiltered. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Oh, they just, they're back out. So they're both of us basically. So one has a little bit of him and one has a little bit of me. So it's kind of a mixture. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. One's better at certain things right now, but they're 4 years apart too. My oldest is 6'7", and I have my 13-year-old who's just hitting his growth spurt, and he's kind of, for us, he's short. He's only 5'9", so
short.
Well, for us,
I know. I got you. Yeah.
So it's we don't know what the youngest, all of his traits will be. We'll see when it happens. But the 6'7" one, he's more of an Olympic style look in his look. He's kind of thin, and I think he would be great high jumper too. But he's a great swimmer. He doesn't want to do it. He just wants to play basketball. We'll let him do that. hopefully he goes to college. We're working on that too, working on him playing in college.
Oh, that's awesome. I do have to ask this because I love seeing parents who are both high-level athletes. How are you guys at basketball games?
Okay.
And remember, this is unfiltered. You gotta keep it real for the audience.
I am not, okay. Personally, I only ran track. I don't know about a lot of sports. I'll tell you that. I know a little bit about them. So I'm more of that track person who's yelling to the top of the, you know how track athletes yell for their teammates? I'm at the court doing that. But then my husband's at the, he's kind of low key, but intense. He's like, you're yelling the wrong thing. I'm like, oh, wow. So I would say, people would probably say we're pretty intense, but it depends on the day. Now, when it comes to like giving it up the last game and stuff like that, like we're not playing around. We're not playing no games. We want to see them compete now. So,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, I love asking parents that, you played at high levels. Like, all right, how y'all acting at these games? We do. Maria, what's up, Maria?
What up, Maria?
She said you would smoke him in a race, though, referring to your husband.
Yeah. Now he could run really fast, short distance. Mm-hmm. When we were in our prime, we would train in the summer before he went to training camp, and we have a lot of stories there. But he would join in on my warm up because I was a middle distance runner. I ran the 800. He's not going that far, but I would do
too
like
many laps around the track.
Exactly.
But he's not. I mean, he would do some of my workouts, and he's on the side of the track running off, and I keep going, kind of thing. So, but yeah, we did a lot of different things at home together. I think that's why COVID didn't bother us that much. We're used to sit. I mean, we would work out, and our house was somewhere where we basically stayed all the time. We were really used to being at home a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so you decided to hang up these cleats, like my body's done, I'm over it. You wanted to focus more on being a mom. What kind of, I guess, at what point were you like, okay, it's time, like I'm done with track. I don't want anything to do with track. Was there an event or something, or was your body and just everything, you were just tired?
Mentally tired, and also my end kind of, the way I retired wasn't ideal, but I was done. I was done. So this was the thing. I had my youngest son a year before the Olympic trials in 2007 March. So there's a thing called an A standard. You have to, in order to compete at the Olympics, you need to have an A standard. And here comes my husband. You guys, before I say this, he's coming in to say hello.
What up, man? How are you?
What's going on?
You said bring him in, so. So you need an A standard to compete in the Olympics, and you get a year to do it. Well, I was pregnant with my second son the year before, and came back, started my season like normal, but I did not get the A standard prior to the Olympic trials. Well, they started this new rule saying if you make the Olympic team at the Olympic trials in the summer, you could not go to the Olympics. You needed to make it prior to the Olympic trials. And if you didn't hit that standard at the trials, you could not go. And so top 3 make it to the Olympics. I earned my 3rd spot position. I did not run the A standard, however. And they said the rules have changed, and I was not able to go to the Olympics, which I worked my whole life for that.
Yeah.
And we kept trying, my agent, my coach, everybody, we fought for a little bit to say, hey, she was pregnant the year before. She couldn't hit the stand. She had like a matter of months to hit the standard. I mean, I don't know if you all know that the outdoor season doesn't really start in April. You're not running like very fast times
Right,
soon as you get on the track.
Right.
Most of the time you're going to run really fast at the trials or something like, and I think I was a few tenths of a second off of the actual A standard. But before I was pregnant, I easily hit those standards. I just was recovering from coming back from a pregnancy. And I think that was my time where I said, you know what? I can't tell my kids that I'm not around just to chase a medal. They don't look at a medal as something. They look at me not being there.
Right.
I can say, hey, I missed a lot of time with you, but I got this medal, and that's all I felt like I was going to earn by sacrificing any more time. On top of it just being time for me to be retired and put more time into my son that had been diagnosed a year and a half before that. It was heavy on my heart. I wanted to put more energy into him and then also my youngest son. So I was ready. I have not missed it.
Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, I guess, you can walk away and be comfortable in your decision and not feel like you didn't give it everything you had. It's crazy to me, that makes me feel like, well, what's the point of the Olympic trials? Like, if I can't make the Olympic team, by going to the trials, what's the point? But every sport has their standards, but no, that's definitely commendable. Being able to say, you know what, my kids don't care about a medal. They might break it anyway if I bring it home, but no, that's definitely commendable. To be able to step away from, like you said, something you fought for so long, so hard, to be a mom and be there for your kids. So that's really dope.
Yeah, that's tough to do for a lot of athletes who are nearing the end of their career, whether it's they foresee it, their body's telling them, politics, whatever it is. It's always a little bit harder to walk away for something that you have loved to do for practically your whole life and trained to do practically your whole life, and then say, you know what, there's just something more important now. And yeah, that's just a testament to, if your vision is clear and you know what you want, it's really not a sacrifice. It's just tending to the next big thing. So that's what's up. I like that. We got any other questions over there, Bud?
No, nothing on my page. I shared it on the watch party. April Thomas said, hey.
Oh,
April. Hey, what up? Hey?
That's my girl. So obviously you step away from track to kind of be a mom. And now you're a big advocate for autism. Kind of, what does that look like for you on a day-to-day basis?
Well, it starts with my career. At one point in my life, I felt like I have a degree in child and family studies, just to give you guys a background there. And I felt like, oh, what am I going to do with that? I love sales. I love product. And somehow I ended up in retail. Initially, it was just getting out the house because I was a stay-at-home mom for a little bit. And I wanted to just talk with people, meet people and have fun. And it ended up being a career for about 5 to 6 years. But my heart just pulled at working with people that I could serve and help more. So I started working with a nonprofit called Autism Breakthrough, where I was instructor and coordinator for a program out at Oak Ridge National Laboratory for 2 years. And I mainly help them with job training skills. And then we were able to get them jobs at the end in the community. And I'm doing something similar, and I just started this new job with the state. I work for the state of Tennessee in the vocational rehabilitation office. And I cover 15 different counties here surrounding Knoxville. And I'm doing something similar. I'm not doing a lot of training as much, but I'm doing more of the helping them with finding jobs and connecting them with businesses. So networking with businesses to just change the mindset of how people look at hiring individuals, not only with autism, but people with disabilities of any sort. And this is everything that I am. It definitely is a good fit for me. And going to work is not going to work anymore. It's truly rewarding work. And I just love doing what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome. Earlier in the show, you mentioned you didn't know, let me see if I say it right. You didn't know how track would kind of prepare you for the rest of your life, but now you kind of understand. Like you said, you started when you were 8 and you didn't really know how track was going to play a role in your life. And now you have a successful career as a collegiate athlete. And I think ultimately as a professional athlete to still come back, from having your second child and still, in my opinion, qualify for the Olympics, to do all that. And then, now you're here. I guess what did it teach you?
Work ethic, drive, with track and field, it's an individual sport too. It's all on you. You don't have a choice. There's no taking off. Okay, I'm gonna take off this 200 going into, the last lap. No, you don't have an option. And so it definitely helped me be a better mom, be a better employee, where I'm very dependable. There's it just has taught me a whole lot of just work skills, life skills, all around.
We go on my bad. Go ahead, bud.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's we're a part of it's called Retired Athletes for Radical Unity. It's RAFRU for short. And we just talk about basically how much sports can do for someone. And it doesn't matter the sport. It's just the atmosphere, the life lessons, the confidence boosters that you get from being a part of something and being forced to compete and learning how to compete and become a true competitor. Because everybody doesn't compete out here nowadays. These kids, Jesus, they just be out here. But it's great to hear that work ethic was at the top of your list of what carried you and helps to carry you through your success today.
Absolutely. And of course, being a Lady Vol is different. We built it. Definitely built different.
I think she in mama mode right now.
Oh yeah, I had a little somebody come through and take a spill, so I didn't want you to.
No, it's okay.
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah.
How did you, of course, me and Lex bleed orange all day, every day. How did you feel about, being able to say I'm a Tennessee Lady Vol?
I mean, it's definitely, it's a sense of pride. That Tennessee has a tradition and a background of, their athletes that they choose for their programs, that they represent UT well. And just to be able to say that I ran track for UT is something that, I'm very proud of.
Absolutely.
Go Vols. Normally I have on my LVFL hat, but change it out today.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit.
Hey,
So,
but wait. Before you switch gears, because you know what? I'm tripping before the beginning. I did not think Tennessee Tap House or Hound Dogs of Tennessee. Sorry. I mean Hound Dogs in Knoxville. My bad, y'all. I love y'all. Please don't fire us.
it's all good. So for you, you're raising two sons. The climate of kind of our society right now is a little bit crazy in terms of social injustice, racial injustice. Um, how's that for you, raising two African American men and trying to instill in them the proper morals and really just how to navigate this culture, this society now?
Well, as we talked about, I have a different dynamic and I feel like I have more to worry about because I have a son with a disability. And he's a Black man. And that is concerning for me. Just how he may be perceived, if he were to be pulled over or if he's walking by himself, because like I told you that ADHD is very profound in his life. And he has autism, but it's not as noticeable if you can kind of get a picture there. How he would be perceived to, in certain situations, or maybe not be able to communicate as well as they think he should be communicating, is very unnerving. I've talked to my sons from the beginning about how you may be perceived. We live in Knoxville and it seems to be a safe space sometime, but I don't want them to feel like this is reality because it's not. You can go down the street somewhere else and turn the corner and nobody knows you. They don't know, you come from a good family. That's not, that's what people like say, oh, I know them. They went to such and such. They have a good family. Nobody knows that. You're a Black man and that's how you proceed. But from day one with my boys, I seen a lot of people from where I'm from, Dayton, Ohio, die young, be locked up in prison. A lot of people, a lot of men, Black men, people that I went to school with, no longer here, just dying for no reason. And so I feel like I would do them a disservice by not sharing those stories that this is real. It's real. You live in a seemingly safe environment now, but that doesn't mean this is reality. So that's the best way that I can describe it. But I get nitty gritty. I mean, I'm raw. I'm pretty raw now.
No, I definitely
don't forget, son, who you are. That that's one of my.
Yeah, well, and it's a good that you do that. You have to. Knoxville is kind of a safe place for the most part. If they know you, it's a little safer, or if they know your parents, it's a little safer. But at the end of the day, still down south.
Right.
Yep. No, I definitely agree. My mom was the same way with me and my brother, obviously. A little bit more, like you said, raw with my brother, being a Black man. I grew up in South Carolina. So she kept it all the way 100 with him. Like he would come home and somebody say something to him at school and he'd be like, Mom, what's this mean? She'd be like, oh, come on, sit down. So no, I definitely think, especially in this, like, you can't sugarcoat it because everything is a reality. It's all a reality. Like you said, you can hit a corner, somebody not know who you are, and it becomes very real. So I definitely think that's a plus to keep it all the way raw with them. We do have a question on Facebook from our girl Maria. What's up? She said, do people realize how hard it is to qualify for the Olympics in track? The difference can be hundredths of a second, which obviously was the case for you.
And it's very hard. And the first year that I graduated from UT, I placed fourth at the 2004 Olympic trials. So I missed out twice.
Dang.
Yes, it's very hard. And the thing is, you have one shot.
Yeah. Yep. And obviously with the A standard, it's like if you don't hit that at all, like you said, the Olympic trials, you can fight and appeal as much as you want, but now with that, you really can't do too much.
Now they did, I don't know if they started it back, but that year they had taken away it was an idea behind chasing the standard. So if you made it, you were allowed to chase it after the trials for a period of time before the Olympics. But I think the reason why they had taken it away that year was something new that they were trying. They thought that, with track language, you would run your legs out. You would be dead by the time you got a chance to compete. Even if you hit that standard, you may be shot by the time you made it to the Olympics. So that's one thing that they were trying to prevent. But it was heartbreaking. It was, but I don't think I have missed running. I miss trying to find something to do as good, because I knew that was my bread and butter. I go and get in shape and I'm running, But what else am I that good at? I think that's another topic I could talk about all day. Just athletes find their second wave of, no, I don't want to be a coach. I may not want to stay in the sport, but what else am I that good at? Because it's easy to go back to your sport because you have been at that high in that level for so long. It's convenient, and it really takes you out of a comfort zone to have to relearn yourself, and what else am I that good at?
Yeah. That's so true. I found myself on that.
I think a lot of, especially when you don't get to go out on your own terms.
Yeah.
To an extent,
Yeah, well, Camisha, we are about to wrap it up, but before we do, we always like to give our guests an opportunity to really just plug yourself, what you're doing, your family, anything that you would like to promote, anything. This is your time to shine.
Well, we're not real public people, so I probably would say, I don't have a lot of plugs, but I'm just proud of my sons and my husband, and we're having a good life right now, just trying to raise them and be strong Black men and productive men. And that would be my hope, that we sacrifice our careers enough for them to be successful Black men.
That's awesome. Thank you again for taking the time out to join us. Folks, we told you she was legendary. She humbly tried to walk away from that, but we're still giving you the crown today. Absolutely. But thank you again for Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs of Knoxville. Let's see, Just Pass It, Tutoring, Orange Mountain Designs. Jay, go ahead and tell the people, because this is what we need to do more of, guys. We just love to talk to our guests and get their story. We actually, a lot of times, forget that we're actually building our own businesses as young entrepreneurs. So, Bug, let them know who you are and what you're doing real quick.
Hey, man, I'm just out here trying to, no, I'm just kidding. The gold standard fitness, sports performance training, trying to get it straight. Hit me up, goldstandardtraining.com. We service all your needs from sports performance training, strength training, overall wellness training. You're trying to get your body right and tight, you don't hit that COVID-19. We got you. And then just all around training, soccer, basketball, football, whatever, we got you. So yeah, that's what I do.
Listen, I'm always big on being a product of the product. Just go ahead and flex real quick, but go ahead real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. I'm just saying, tell the people what they're coming into, man. Yes. Listen, y'all can't see our producer Bobby, but I can, and he's like, "Go, yes, come on, Book, let's go." Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Be a product. Hey, y'all better.
I turned our hoodie into a cutoff, guys. We got some
Just
more
so she
coming
can
up.
flex. Just so she can flex.
Let's
But that's what's up. I don't really have any of my gear. We hold on, I'm sorry. We had something popping up. Is that on Facebook, Bobby? But for me, I have Alexis Hornbuckle basketball, and I just started my college prep where it's only open to 10 athletes because I really want to be able to connect with them and really guide them and mentor them. When you're being recruited as an athlete, most athletes really don't get the luxury of having someone mentor them and walk them through the entire process, or at least get them kickstarted enough to see, is this something I really want to do? A lot of kids say they want to play college. They get put to the test, put through college workouts and regiments, and then they're like, I'm just playing. So this is a program that's not for you if that's who you are. This is a program, those that are seriously focused and they want to achieve something great. They want to go to college. It does not have to be Division I. It could be D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO. College sports is college sports. I do push you like you are a D1 athlete because, in my opinion, you're an athlete. You picked up the sport. We're going to make you the best basketball player you can be. So that's really what I have going on. Anything else, all me, is alexishornbuckle.com. Check it out. Got a couple podcasts. I got Bucked Up coming. We're going to drop some lady ball basketball for you. Maria, by the way, I didn't know if you know, but you're kind of like the writer for that. Thank you. I love you. We'll talk later about that.
Hold on. Speaking of Maria, she got another question real quick.
What up?
Kameisha, Maria, once again, she asks, do you run now in local road races or just on your own? And she said, congrats on being in the Penn Relays Wall of Fame. That's an incredible accomplishment. And we also want to commend you on being in the Hall of Fame in Knoxville as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. No, I don't run road runs. Middle distance, and sometimes you go up and sometimes you go down, meaning you run shorter races. I was on the shorter end, okay? So me running 3 miles is like torture.
Yeah.
But I'm not in shape right now, so just be just fully say everything. I would like to run for my health, and that's all at this point.
Hey, that's what girl. I played soccer. I was a goalkeeper in soccer, but we had to run a lot in college. I felt like I was on a cross country team. So yes, I run a mile and I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. I like treadmill, but COVID's kind of holding me back on my treadmill game. So I'm looking into buying one at this point.
Right.
Might as well.
Absolutely.
Especially if you know you're going to use it.
I need it. Yeah. So.
All right, good people. We're about to wrap this thing up. Everybody that joined us on Facebook or YouTube, or you simply just logged into the volunteerroadshow.com. We appreciate you, and we look forward to you catching us back Monday night, 7 p.m. as always. Jay, take us out.
Thank you, Camisha. We appreciate you. Sending all love and blessings to you and your family. And just remember, everybody, be unfiltered in your truth. And we will see y'all next Monday at 7 p.m.